Good morning, students. Welcome to 7th Standard Social Science, Term 3, Unit 2 in Geography. So, Geography, second unit, Map Reading. So, children, listen carefully to this session. In case of any doubts, make a note of it, which shall be clarified on the day of reopening. So, now let's enter into today's session. So, today our topic is Term 3 Geography second unit Map Reading. So, the reading of maps will give clear understanding of geographical location and physiographic features. So, the map reading, it gives information about the physical features of a particular area and also the location of the particular area. And also the map portrays the political boundaries of different countries and states. So from the map we can know about the boundaries of different countries and states. So the maps and the globe are the important tools for geographers. So for a geographer, the map and the globe is a very important tool. Why? Because it gives a clear picture about the geographical location and the physical features of a particular place. And also, the map is a representation of the earth as a whole or a part of the earth drawn on a flat surface according to the given scale. So, map is the representation of the world on a flat surface according to the scale. And also, from the map, we can know about the continents, countries, cities, and even a local area are drawn with specific details. So, the map shows the details about continents, countries, cities, and also about the local areas. And also, the map is very easy to handle and it can be carried by rolling it up. Okay, it is very easy to handle and carry as it can be rolled up or folded and stored in computers. In early times, in ancient period, various materials such as animal skin, cloth, parchment, papyrus, wet earth and clay tablets were used to make maps. So, in ancient period, the maps were represented on a animal skin or cloth or parchment, and papyrus means a kind of thick paper. Wet earth and clay tablets were used to represent the maps. So now let's see the different types of maps. So let's see the different types of maps. So each map has its own unique design, content and construction. So the maps are broadly classified based on the scale and based on the content. So it is broadly classified on the basis of scale and on the basis of content. On the basis of scale, it is further divided into large scale and small scale. And on the basis of content, it is further divided into physical and cultural map. So this is a classification of maps based on the scale and based on the content. On the basis of scale, it is divided into large and small. On the basis of content, it is divided into physical and cultural map. So now let's see the definition for each map. So first one is on the basis of scale. We have seen the large scale map. So large scale map, it shows small areas in greater details because they are drawn on a relatively large scale. So large scale maps, it provides detail about small areas. So keep this in mind, it is a contrast. Large scale map, it provides details about small areas. So some example of large scale map is cadastral map. Some examples are cadastral map. So the map which is used in real estate. The plan map. So cadastral map are village and town maps which show individual field and house site. So cadastral map, it shows the details about small areas like individual field or individual house site. Next one is topographical maps. So topographical maps is also a kind of large scale maps. Why? Because it shows smaller areas in much greater details about smaller area. These maps are prepared by the Survey of India. And also this shows both natural features like hills and valleys as well as man-made features like buildings, roads and canals. So the topographical maps is also an example of large scale map. Why? Because it shows details about small areas. So even the man-made features like buildings, roads, canals and the natural features like hills and valleys. So that's why topographical map is an example of large scale maps. So now let's see the second type of map based on this scale, that is small scale map. So large scale map, it provides details about small areas, whereas small scale map, it provides details about large areas. So the details will be less when compared to the large scale map. It shows large areas like continent or countries. These maps are drawn on 1 centimeter equal to 1000 kilometers. So these are called small scale maps. So small scale maps, it provides detail about continents and countries and they are drawn on the scale of 1 centimeter equal to 1000 kilometer. That means 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 1000 kilometer on the ground. So that is the definition of scale. So the example of small scale map is wall maps. Small scale maps showing large areas, they are useful for students in classrooms and office. Small scale maps covers a large area and depicts with limited information. So the wall maps in schools and offices, it provides the limited information when compared to the large scale maps. So large scale maps, it provides details about small areas, whereas small scale maps, it provides detail about large areas. So there will be limited information. So an example of small scale map is wall maps. And another example is atlas. So atlas is a book containing maps. It is the collection of maps in a book. So atlas definition is collection of maps in a book. Atlas maps are small scale maps covering large areas like continents and countries. So if you have noticed the atlas, there will be a map of continents and several countries. So atlas is an example of small scale maps. And also the science of map making is called cartography. So make a note of it, children. The science of map making. So map making studying is called cartography, where cart means map and graphic means drawing. Okay, cart means map and graphic means drawing. One who draws the map is called cartographer. The study of map making is called cartography and the person who draws the map are called cartographer. And next is the different types of atlas. So the different types of atlas is, first one is school atlas. In school you will be provided with one book of map. So that is called school atlas. Contains the maps giving sufficient details of the home and country. So it provides sufficient details about several countries related to your studies. The next type of atlas is advanced atlas. Advanced atlas contains detailed maps of even small regions of the continents and are used as reference atlases. So advanced atlas means it provides several details about small regions. It provides detailed maps of even small regions of the continent. So it is much advanced than your school atlas. And next type is regional atlas. So regional atlas, it provides details about small areas prepared with a view to help in regional planning. So it contains detailed maps of small areas for regional planning. And next type is national atlas. So national atlas, it contains detailed maps of a country. The maps of a national atlas are comparatively large sized and they depict general and characteristic features of the geography of a country. So National Atlas, it provides the map of a nation or a country, and it also depicts the features of the geographic. Means it depicts the physical features like the mountains, valleys, plains, rivers, water bodies. So it depicts the physical features. So National Atlas, it provides details about the nation or a country's physical features. So now let's move on to the second type of map, that is on the basis of content. So on the basis of content, the map is classified into several types. So let's see it. First one is physical maps. So physical maps, it shows the natural features such as relief, geology, soils, drainage, elements, weather and vegetation. So the physical maps, it provides various physical features of a particular place. Example, the geological features, the soil nature, the drainage, the weather and climatic report, and the vegetation of the particular place. So this is an example of physical map. It is the Indian physical map where we can get to know about the vegetation, hills, the water bodies. So this is the example of physical map. Next one is relief maps. So on the basis of content, the map is classified as follows. So first one is physical map, and now we are going to see about the relief map. So what is relief map? It shows general topography like mountain valleys, plains, plateaus and rivers. So the general features like the mountains, plains, plateaus and rivers. Next one is geological maps. So the geological maps are drawn to show geological features or structures like rocks and minerals. So geological maps, it provides details about the geological structure like rocks and minerals. The next type of map based on the content is climatic map. So climatic map, it provides the climatic condition of the place. So it shows the distribution of temperature, rainfall, clouds, relative humidity, direction and velocity of winds and other elements of weather. So the climatic map, it shows the distribution of temperature, rainfall, clouds, the humidity means the moisture content in air, the direction of the wind, the velocity of winds and other elements of weather are represented on a climatic maps. The next type is soil map. So the soil map provides the details about the different types of soils. So these are drawn to show the distribution of different types of soil and their properties. So soil maps are drawn to show the distribution of different types of soil. So now let's see the next type based on the content. So far we have seen about the physical maps. So under physical maps we have seen the relief maps, geological maps, climate map and soil map. So now we are going to see about the cultural maps. So now we are going to see about the cultural maps. It shows the man-made features. So the cultural maps, it shows the man-made features like dams, buildings. So it portrays or it represents the man-made features. So first type is political maps. So one type of cultural map is political map. It shows the administrative divisions of a country, state or district. These maps facilitate the administration in planning and management of the concerned administrative units. So the political map, it shows the divisions within the country or the divisions within the state for a better administration planning. So this is the definition of political map. It shows the divisions within the country or a state for better administration. The next type of cultural map is population map. So these are all the man-made features. So population map, it provides the distribution of population. So these types of maps, it shows the distribution and the density and growth of population, occupation structure and literacy rate. Okay. So from the population maps, we can get to know about the growth and density of population and also the occupation rate, employment status and the literacy rate, the educational status. And next one is economic maps. So the next type of cultural map is economic map. It depicts the production and distribution of different types of crops and minerals, location of industries, trade routes and flow of commodities. So from the economic map, we can get to know about the production or the economic status of a particular place. So it depicts the production and distribution of different types of crops, minerals and also the location of industries are mentioned in the economic map and also the trade routes. And next one is transportation map. So transportation map is another example of cultural map. It shows the roads, railway lines and the location of railway station, airports and seaports. So these are all the man-made features. So cultural map, it shows the man-made feature. So transportation is one of the example of cultural map where we can get to know about the roadways, railways and also about the airports and seaports and nearby railway station. And next one is thematic maps. So thematic, so from the name itself we can say thematic means these maps are based on particular theme. It represents the distribution of particular feature or theme and its spatial variation. So thematic maps represent particular theme. For example, soil map means the theme is the distribution of soil. Okay, population map means the theme is the population growth or the density of population. So this is the definition of thematic maps. Next one is digital maps. So nowadays with the advancement in technology, so we are using Google Maps to find the route. So the digital map means the web-based map. Digital map means the web-based map. So it is a web-based service that provides detailed information about geographical regions and sites around the world. So digital means the online based maps. Now we are going to see about the elements of map. So what are the different types of elements present on a map? So let's see it. Maps provide us with a lot of information and one must know how to read and interpret them. So the map, it provides lot of information and we must know the details about the symbols and signs which are mentioned in the map and we should interpret it. So now let's see the elements of map. First one is title, next is direction, next is scale and then legend or key. So these are all the different elements of map which are present in the all kinds of map. Title, direction, scale, legend or key. So let's see the example and definition for each. So first one is title. So every map has a title. For example, tourist map means the title will be tourist map. Or if the map is based on the height means the title will be elevation map. So every map has a title. For example, soil map, physical map, political map. So every map has a title that describes the information given in the map. So from the title itself we can get to know what kind of information is present in the map. For example, a map with the title India River. So India River means from the title itself we can get to know. It shows the rivers of India. Next one is direction. So the next element on the map is direction. In general, maps are drawn with north orientation. So in general, every maps are drawn with north orientation. So it helps us to find other direction on the map like east, west and south. So once you fix the north, we can find the rest of the direction. In addition to the north notation, latitudes and longitudes are depicted in the margins. The north is notified by N with an arrow mark. So once we fix the north direction, we can automatically find the other three directions and the north is notated by N. The next element on map is scale. So as I said before, scale is the ratio between the points on the map to the points on the ground. For example, 1 centimeter equal to 1000 kilometer means 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 1000 km on the ground. So the scale of a map is the ratio between the distance on the map between 2 points and the actual distance between the two places on the ground. So the scale means the ratio between the distance on the map to the distance on the ground. For example, scales can be represented as 1 centimeter equal to 10 kilometer means 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 10 kilometer on the ground. Next one is legend or key. A legend or key of a map explains the symbols that are used on it to represent various physical and cultural features. So the legend or key means it is just a symbol which is used to represent the various features. For example, lake means one symbol like this. For example, bridge is represented by a symbol like this. So from the symbol itself we can interpret or we can read the map. And also the common signs and symbols which are internationally accepted and used in maps are called conventional signs and symbols. So the common symbols which are used over international is called conventional signs and symbols. So some symbols are internationally accepted. So it is the common symbol. Those symbols are called conventional signs and symbols. And now on a map, it is difficult to show the real shape such as the settlements, bridge, post office, railway lines and forest. So they are depicted by using certain colors, symbols or letters. So we can't draw the original post office or the forest or the bridge on the map. So in order, we are providing some symbols. For bridge means some horizontal vertical line. For lake means some blue color representation. So in order to represent the physical features, we are using some symbols. Those symbols are called conventional symbols. For example, the white color on the map, it represents snow. Okay, the white color on the map, it represents the snow. And next is yellow color. The yellow color on the map, it represents agriculture area. Yellow color represents agriculture area. And then green. The green color, it represents the forest area. The green represents forest area. And the blue. The blue represents water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes. So blue represents water bodies. And next is brown. Brown represents mountains, hills or contour. So brown represents mountains. And red. So red represents the settlement or the road. So red represents the settlement or road. And next one is black. So black represents the railway line. So black on the map, it represents the railway line. So now let's see some conventional signs and symbols which are commonly used or internationally accepted. A sign is a widely used symbol or a line pattern or a color on a map. It represents the feature on the ground. So as I said before, agriculture ground means it is green color. So the sign or the color or the symbol, it represents some feature on the ground. And also the Survey of India. So Survey of India is SOI. It has a standardized set of conventional signs and symbols. Several colors are commonly used in map. So SOI, it has a standardized set of conventional signs and these signs are used on the map. Some signs are, so take a glance at this. This is a major road. This is minor road sign. Bridge. RS, railway station. So this sign represents railway broad gauge, railway meter gauge. So this is river. So this is canal. This sign represents dam, lake, wetland, mountain, volcano symbol, grass and shrub, forest symbol, country and capital, international administrative capital. So this represents temple, PO represents post office, TO means telegraph office, PS means police station, and this symbol represents fort. So these are all the commonly accepted or internationally used symbols. So now let's see the uses of maps. So why maps is very essential? So let's see it. First one is maps enable us to know the details of the landforms. So from the maps we can get to know about the physical features or the mountain regions, agricultural land, whether it is a valley or plains. So we can get to know about the physical features. And map helps the military personnel to campings. So the map is highly used in military. It is used in aeroplanes and ships. So the maps are used in aeroplanes and ships. Maps are used for weather forecasting. So we can forecast the weather. So now let's see the comparison of map and a globe. So comparison means the difference between the map and a globe. So let's see it. So first let's see about the map. A map is a two-dimensional form of Earth. So map is a 2D image. The map shows a small or a large area. Okay, from the map we can get to know about the small area and also about the large area details. The map can show a detailed information about an area. A map is very easy to carry. So from the map we can get the detailed information even about the small areas, and it is very easy to carry. We can fold it and we can take it. So it is very easy to carry. So on the other hand, let's see about the globe. The globe is the three-dimensional model of the Earth. So map is 2D image, whereas globe is a 3D model of the Earth. And a globe is a true model of the Earth. A globe cannot show the detailed information for an area. So from the globe we cannot get the detailed information. And also a globe is not easy to carry. So we cannot carry it easily. It is not portable when compared to the map. So this is a common difference between the map and the globe. Map provides more details. Globe provides less details. So children, we have come to an end of today's session. So today's topic are covered from page number 165 to 169 in your term 3 book, Geography 2nd unit. So refer your textbook pages. So with this video, this map reading lesson is completed. So try to answer all the book back questions. So now it's time for questions. So let's see some evaluation questions. In case of any doubts, you can go through the whole session video once again, or else you can refer your textbook. So let's see some questions. So first one is, which is the essential tool of a geographer? Second question, the directions in between the cardinal directions are the intermediate. Third question, in a map, which explains the different colors and symbols used in it? Fourth question, cadastral maps are also known as. Fifth question, small scale maps are helpful to us to show large areas like. So children, try to answer all these questions in the notebook which you are maintaining for social science. So with this video, we have come to an end of today's session. So Geography 2nd unit map reading is completed. Thank you.